Well, thank you, Jessica, and good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us here at the Wake Up with United Way event. Like Jessica was saying, usually we have a breakfast, an in-person thing where we feed you a good breakfast. This morning, obviously, is different. Unfortunately, we had to cancel our last year's event because that was really at the height of the epidemic. This year, we did not want to skip, but we wanted to keep you safe. So we are here all together virtually. Hopefully you got a good breakfast in, you got some coffee going on or some tea. We all have here at the at Apache Stainless, the United Way has taken over Apache Stainless. It was like a small insurrection, a very small insurrection. But we thank them for hosting us as well as providing us with their talent and expertise in being able to make this magic happen. So today we're going to do a couple of things. We had the opportunity to sit down with some community leaders to talk about where we are in Dodge County as far as the needs that we're seeing and the optimism for the future, where we're going. We're going to talk a little bit about what the United Way, because of the donations that came in, were able to do last year. And then we're going to talk about where those donations came from. We're going to talk a little bit about who is steering the United Way ship. That would be our board of directors. And then just talk about moving forward, what we're going to be doing into the future. So we thank you for joining us. And without further ado, let's get started. So again, thank you so much. We here at the United Way believe firmly in our mission. We believe that every person in Dodge County, if that person is supported, then that family is able to thrive. And ultimately, our community is nothing more than a collection of thriving families. So we understand that tier of support. We understand the importance of resources being available to everyone. And we understand that we are all connected in that community fabric. And so again, here at the United Way, we believe in that. We put our money where our mouth is, and we are able to really try to invest in the community to make sure that everyone has everything that they need. Talking about everything that everyone needs, I had the opportunity to sit down with a couple of community leaders throughout Dodge County. And we were able to discuss really where we are, what the needs are, what emerging needs are happening, as well as some of the successes that they had seen. So I was able to sit down with Rob Servants, who's the Executive Director of Green Valley Enterprises. I'm sure you're familiar, but Green Valley Enterprises supports individuals with developmental and intellectual disabilities to make sure that they have the independence that they need. Then we have Ashley. Ashley Wellick is the Executive Director of PAVE, and everyone knows PAVE as the place that provides services to victims of domestic violence and sexual assault right here in Dodge County. And of course, their mission is to empower those that have been affected by violence. Renee Henning is the Administrator of Community Care, Preschool, and Child Care. Renee is one of the leading professionals in this area for early childhood education, and just a great representative. And there at Community Care, they are a licensed and accredited child care, and they are working with families to make sure that they have that high quality early childhood experience that their kids need. So again, we sat down, we had a really extensive conversation. Here's just a little snapshot of what we talked about. And so I'll let you be the fly on the wall.
Hello, everyone. I am here today to talk about where we are in Dodge County and where we're going. I have some special guests with me. I have Renee Henning, I have Ashley Wallach, and I have Rob Service. They are here to talk about what is going on as far as emerging needs that we're seeing in Dodge County, and as well as what the future looks like for the people that they serve. So, Renee, I didn't know if you wanted to start and tell us a little bit more about what's going on with the kids and families that you serve at Community Care Preschool and what you're seeing from this past couple of years.
Yeah, 2020 was certainly a challenge for all of us, right? But for my families that I serve, um, when the shutdown happened, I have school agers, I have toddlers, I have infants. How will I meet all my needs? Where do I work? Do I work from home? If you're an essential worker, we stayed open, so that was a blessing for 20 families. We were able to serve.
Yeah, so in 2020, I think we saw an impact of our shelter in general, just trying to follow CDC guidelines and what we do and how we serve. And so kind of impacted as far as how many we were able to have in shelters. So we had to kind of eliminate two of the bedrooms. So it was two families sharing a bathroom instead. The other things that we kind of saw was an increase in our hotline and texting, more in our texting and emails, and I think it was more abusers and victims were stuck in the house together, so victims didn't feel comfortable reaching out because their abuser was always around. So we've seen a lot of that cell phone or the texting line and emails kind of coming through. The other thing we also noticed is we weren't seeing a lot of families kind of coming into shelter during that time, and I think it was just the unknown of, does PAVE have internet? Do they have a laptop that my child can use as far as virtual learning and those things?
And we ended up shutting down kind of the third week of March, all programming all together. And we've never done that as an agency. And I think that's kind of consistent with what a lot of us have been through, is this kind of a challenging year. But we really tried to go into it with what can we learn from this and how can we serve people differently. We started serving people through remote programming, similar to Ashley and Renee. I'm sure you guys had to toggle and do things a little different, and we did that as well. We started programming back up. Some of our program, I should say, like Birth of Three programs and community employment, didn't really stop at all. We just did that differently. We did it remotely, and then obviously we provided remote programming over Zoom too for some of our key programs. But the other thing is right around June we started just kind of opening up slowly.
Emerging needs just related to like behavioral needs that your kids may have, or like service needs that your families are having in recent this year and last.
Fortunately, I can say that I haven't seen that. I think that when you have a quality childcare program that really focuses on that family and those relationships, and that's like the core of our mission, is making sure that we're building those relationships with those children and meeting them at those needs. And if we see an emerging something, then we're like, hey, wait a minute, I've noticed this. Hey, mom, hey, dad, what can we do about that? Is there something you're doing at home? I've noticed an increase in emotions.
I think one thing I also want to add is that we're looking at a different model of like, okay, one big need we have in Dodge County, I think everybody can agree, is transportation. We don't have that. So I've been doing some research, and this is just in the beginning phase of I'm talking to the board next week, really about mobile advocacy. So having our advocates have a space at shelter, answering hotlines, but then having a group of advocates that we can hopefully work with different agencies in different cities. So let's say we have somebody in Mayville, maybe the library let us have a space that's confidential, and that we can go to them instead of them coming to us, because we know that not everybody has transportation or reliable vehicle to get to us, and who may need that help. May not necessarily need to come into shelter, but just needs that support and just go over some documentation. So that's something I think everyone could probably agree that public transportation is a huge need throughout the area.
Disabilities, that was difficult, but now it seems like we have File Supper Club and different places. Jones is working with us again after a couple of years. These are great opportunities for our participants to get real life work experience. So I'd say that's a huge success for Green Valley right now, is just the work we're doing with community employers that want to take a collaborative approach with us and trying to reach outcomes differently and through job experiences and things like that. So I'm excited.
Well, thank you all for sharing a little bit today. And just so you all know, when we're talking about having a strong social infrastructure in the community, these people are the threads of that.
Full conversation will be available to anyone who's interested on our website and as well as on Facebook. So I just wanted to take a moment again to say thank you. We always are looking at the needs. We're always looking at where we are and what we need to do in the future to make sure that everyone has the supports that they need. We know that as a community, we are only as strong as our least resourced member. And we also know and are optimistic because we are a community that believes in the future. We're a community that in the relay race of life, we know that we're handing the baton to the generation after us, hoping that they go further and faster than we can ever dream. And because of that, we have that optimism and hope that these needs are being met, that next generation is able to rise because of the work that we're doing right now. So again, thank you to our panel that we had a discussion about, but also thank you to all of you for bringing us that optimism. And now let's talk a little bit about how that works. So the United Way has 3 pillars that we work in. We work in the space of education and academic success. We work in the space of economic stability, and we work in the space of safety and well-being. Those 3 pillars are what drive our mission. Those 3 pillars are where we see our work connect, like the tires of the car connect to the ground. The rubber hits the road in those pillars. But I did want to say that happens because we have great partners who were able to actually fulfill that mission. And so with that being said, let's talk a little bit about what we've seen this past year. Before we do that, though, we do have a fun trivia question. What percentage of donations stay right here in Dodge County? Is it 10%, 67%, 98%, or 82%? So what percentage of donations that the community is given the United Way of Dodge County? And you guys are voting. Go ahead and click on your answer, and we'll go from there. How are we doing here? See a couple of answers. There we go. More people are voting. Excellent. Well, you're right. So we have 100% of you. Oh, we had one okay, a couple of skews. So, but most of you are right. The answer is 98% of all of our donations that are raised go directly to Dodge County. So how does that look? What does that feel like when we look? We'll start with our youth success. Right here in Dodge County, because of the donations that we received last year, 937 youth were able to receive youth development programming, which included mentorship, education, or leadership education, and all of that had that positive influence, making sure that our kids are becoming the successful and productive citizens that we need them to be in the future. When we work in that space, we're talking about our Girl Scouts, our Boy Scouts, we're talking about Big Brothers, Big Sisters, the YMCA, and community care. All of those people, plus so many more, are working every day in that space. When we look at our economic stability, because of you, because of the donations that we received, 1,649 people received shelter services in their greatest time of need. 340 families were able to receive food assistance to help them become more food secure. 65 of our neighbors received rent assistance. That rent assistance not only allowed them to stay in their homes and provide that stabilization for their family, but stabilization for their neighborhood and our community. When we're talking about that world, we're looking at our partners with our homeless shelters, with our food pantries. Those are not just one and done. I mean, every program that we're investing in is ensuring that people that go through that program are on a lifelong track of stability. And so that's important. Then in our community engagement, this definitely falls in our safety and well-being. We believe that being a part of the community is a really deeply rooted goal inside of there. And because of you, 235 rides were provided for people to go to work. And these are people who now are able to have their vocational goals reached, but as well, they're able to be a contributing member to our society just because of that. That pillar is vast. You know, we have PAVE in there as far as safety goes. We have Green Valley Enterprises, you know, who this data point is addressing. We have Catholic Charities. We have Church Health. There are so many partners that we have inside of here, making sure that people have what they need in order to be safe and in order to be a part of our community. So this happens because, again, the boots on the ground are our partner agencies. Last year, here were our list of our partner agencies. I do have just a quick anecdote to tell you how the work has changed a little bit here for some in this past year. I was talking with someone who has a food pantry program, and she had said she had an A+ volunteer who was able to be at all of her things. She hadn't seen her for a while, and she ran into her at a pop-up food pantry. Went up to her and mentioned that she didn't know that she was part of the event. And this is where her A+ volunteer burst into tears and said, "I'm not here to volunteer, I'm here for my family." This was a family that never had the need before. They were always getting back to their community. But here we are, life happens. And this pandemic certainly has brought maybe some underlying needs that were bubbling under the surface to the surface, as well as just rocked families that had everything that they needed and were going along their way, and it just kind of rocked their world. So we know that our partner agencies are seeing need after need after need, and are just constantly have to be flexible in order to address those needs. And so we're super proud to have them as our partners. On that, let's do another fun trivia question. What was the total community investment through the United Way in 2020? Can you guess? Was it $282,000, $76,000, $184,000, or $151,000? We have a couple of different avenues of ways that we were able to give last year. So let's see if you can guess what that was. We've got people answering. So far, so good. Let's see. Was it $151,000, $184,000, $76,000, or $282,000? More of you are answering the question. And as we go, Look at you. Most of you got the answer right. It was $282,000 last year was distributed to partners or to programs to make that magic happen. Where did that come from? We have corporate partners who are in our world. This is just a small sample of them who either run workplace campaigns or run fundraisers inside of themselves, or contribute some of their talent or technology in order for the United Way to be able to reach more people. Let's hear from one of those people now. So fortunately, we have Jessica on the helm here, who is the leader of this insurgency.
Hi, I'm Jerry DeWitz, president of Apache Stainless. United Way helps support health, education, financial stability of those in need in the Dodge County area. This is a small, family-oriented community. It's not uncommon for an employee who has a friend or family member who has been supported by a United Way agency. We want to be part of the solution to help strengthen Dodge County. As a past Dodge County United Way board president, I've seen firsthand the impact that United Way has for the needs of the community. Apache is happy to sponsor this year's virtual annual meeting, Wake Up to the United Way.
And then even more partners here in the community where we have people, again, giving through workplace campaigns, giving through fundraisers that they are running, or giving through individual donors as well. So let's hear from another one of them.
Hello, everyone. Today we're at Horicon Bank talking with Grace Bruins about the partnership that we have with Horicon Bank and United Way of Dodge County. For years, we've been able to have great partnership where they have been very generous with both their time, their talent, and their treasure. And here to talk a little bit more about that partnership is Grace.
Yeah, absolutely. We are excited to partner with you. And like you said, it's been a long-standing partnership. Horicon Bank has always tried to have somebody on the board at the United Way. We have Kaylee Bauer there right now. We sponsor the Volunteer Dodge website, which is a great resource for anyone looking to get involved. It's something that we point our employees to be able to volunteer. And Horicon Bank really takes stock in that volunteerism. We want to be involved in our communities. The United Way does a great job of that. And actually within the bank, we offer volunteer hours to our employees because we find that to be such a great experience, to be able to be involved and to be able to give back to our communities, which are really sustaining us as a business, sustaining our employees. And I just think that that's at the core of what Horicon Bank does. And I think you guys have been able to allow us to give those opportunities to our employees. So we're excited to be a part of the United Way, to be a part of supporting you in everything that you're doing.
So again, huge thanks to Horicon Bank and their many years of partnership, and here's to more to come.
So as you can see, I am totally trying to work in Oprah's space, although I do think that her job is secure. But I appreciate everyone being able to take some time to talk with us. And I do want to address our largest donors, Alliant Energy, Apache Stainless, Walmart, ITW, Shake Proof, John Deere, and the John Deere Foundation. Those entities are a huge part of how we're able to complete our mission every day. And so to that, we say thank you. I just wanted to jump back on here again and say thank you to everyone who has been a part of this mission. We've had companies help us out with the financials. We've had companies help us out with technology. We've had companies help us out with in-kind donations. People have lent their time, their talent to us, and we have been really appreciative of that, and only are able to do what we're doing because of that. So here's another fun trivia question. Let's talk about the power of the dollar. What can $1 a week provide? Is it a therapy session for an at-risk child in an area school? Is it a safe shelter for a family facing domestic abuse? Is it a dental exam and x-ray for an uninsured child or adult? Or is it 288 pounds of nutritious food from an area food pantry? Or is it all of the above? What do you think? What is that power of the dollar? What can that do? We've got a couple of people answering the question. So far, most of you are right. Now, I will tell you, these trivia questions probably weren't passed through the test and measurements lens of an academic test, but you guys are doing good. All right. Looking at the results, most of you got it right. All of the above. When we combine your dollar a week with other dollars of the week, we're able to do some pretty amazing things. And for that, again, we thank you. We're able to do those things because of our leadership. When we talk about who our leadership is, the United Way, who's driving the bus, who is out there moving the mountains to make the magic happen, we look at our board of directors. We have some recently outgoing board directors. That would be Shirley and Becky and Jennifer and Shar and Paul. We have someone who had to exit the board a little early, and that would be Jenny Sarsinski. We truly appreciate the years of dedication and service that these individuals were able to provide and the guidance that they were able to give to the United Way. And I'd like to introduce you to your 2021 United Way board. We've got Cassandra and Kaylee, Jessica and Jim, who have already served many years and are continuing to guide the ship. Then we have new to our board, we have Laura and Angela, Jordan, Anthony, and Emil. Thank you to them for jumping on, rolling their sleeves up, and getting ready to take us into the future. I want to have you start your day here with, thank you for starting your day with us. I also want you to think about some optimism that you have about the year coming up. What are you excited about? What makes you wake up in the morning and jump into your shower with enthusiasm? So just take some time, hit that questions button, and give me a positive thought. Give me some of your optimistic feel of what 2021 and even 2022 can be bringing for Dodge County.
So this is Jessica again. While Harper is reading your comments, again, put those positive comments in the question button, and it'll give her a chance to kind of go through some of them. Be sure to do that while I'm making a few final announcements. Apache is sponsoring this event today, and all that means is we are loaning out our tech in our room and to United Way for this great cause. And we are going to go ahead and make this video available to you. And right now I'm just trying to adjust the screen so Harper can see comments, which is problematic because how can she comment on them if she can't see them? I'm going to try this one more time. But yes, the comments would be in your question if you can do so. And just add those in the comments section. All right, so a few are coming in now. We do have a little bit of a 20-second delay, so that's possibly part of the reason why you know, we aren't seeing quite comments yet. But back to a few more announcements. Look for a $5 gift card. And again, this was provided by Apache. We do this for our customers because it just gives one little extra thing to say thank you for your time. And we thought everyone joining in today also should have some coffee and a donut. And so I will run out today and get those gift cards and go ahead and get those to United Way and see what we can do here to get those to you. And also the video is going to be available for everyone. I think within a couple of days it'll be compressed and I'll get that over to United Way. Again, please put your comments in there. We are having a slight technical problem, but we have hopefully, Mary, can you see any of the comments?
I can. Thanks, Emily. She says we are doing great work that impacts the health of our neighbors and communities. And Letty says, knowing that I can provide food, shelter, and rental assistance to the less fortunate. See one more from Wendy. Every day is unique, and being able to assist someone makes it a great day.
Thanks, everyone. I'm sorry about that tech, but Mary had it on her computer. And now, for final comments, I'm going to turn it back over to Harper.
All right.
And she's going to go on video.
Hello, everyone, again. So, thank you for joining us. I know that this isn't our normal breakfast. I know that we are all kind of, some of us are getting back into the mode of early morning meetings, and so I appreciate that. Hopefully, if you could be in your pajama bottoms for this, even better. But we promise next year I will be feeding you breakfast. It'll be wonderful. We'll all be together. But until then, thank you for joining us. Thank you for making the United Way's mission possible, and thank you for making it a strong thread throughout our community. That's because of donors. That's because of our board of directors. And that is because of our partner agencies. Without all of those pieces in place, we wouldn't be able to work so hard to make sure that Dodge County is as strong as possible. So have a great day. Make it a great day. And we will see you on the flip side. Thank you.